Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Hello and welcome to day 26 of the Spring To It Videothon, and today we are doing our spring tag. This is an original tag by our very own Serenity Dawn, and I will have all the questions listed down below underneath where all the prompts are. So diving right in, question number 1, New Beginnings, a book about a fresh start or journey. Now for this one, I actually am going to go with Red Rising. Yes, it's still on loan, by Pierce Brown. Basically, in this, we are following a man named Darrow. And Darrow lives on Mars, and he is a red. Now, in the caste system, reds are on the bottom, and the golds are on the top. And this is Darrow's journey to better himself, his life, and his family's lives, and to rise above what he has been pegged in his life is all he's ever going to be. This is a really great story, lots of action, adventure, great characters, and it's actually a series, I think of 3, and then I think Iron Gold's a new series. I could be wrong about that. But if you like sci-fi or adventure, you would enjoy these books. Question 2, Eureka! A book that motivated or inspired you. Now, I actually thought about this for a while, and I feel bad. Most books don't. I would say most books don't particularly inspire me. Like, I'm entertained and I might enjoy them and I might even learn some things, but I would hardly use the word inspire. So for this, I went old school and decided to go with my Bible. I feel like the Word of God is definitely my inspiration for everything I do and everything I say, and it is the guide for my entire life and my reason for being. So I would say that everything that God says is an inspiration. This particular one is New American Standard. I got it in middle school from my father shortly before I actually accepted Jesus into my heart. So, most inspirational book right here. You should read it. Question 3, you like to move it. An activity that helps you spring into action. Okay, so I feel really weird about this one. Sometimes I can be super unmotivated. So I thought of 3 things that absolutely motivate me to get things done. And the first thing is lists. The more organized I am, the better it is. I have an app on my phone and I just make lists all the time. Whether it's a grocery list or things I need to do today list or things I need to do then list or a list of movies I want to see or books I want to read or new things to watch on Netflix. It never gets old. I always have lists going on because it kind of keeps me organized and motivated. I also get pretty motivated by doing puzzles. I know that sounds weird, but there's something about the accomplishment of finishing a puzzle that just is like, yes, I can do it. I also listen to audiobooks a lot of times while I'm doing puzzles, and I find it a great way to listen to a book that you have to listen to details on. Either that or driving are my best way for audiobooks. But puzzles do motivate me to get more things done. And the last thing, which is going to sound weird, I think, about what motivates me is workout TV shows or documentaries. Like, if I'm watching a documentary and it's all about like, oh, this is the CrossFit thing and this is how it got started, or this is the CrossFit Games last year, or The Biggest Loser, or whatever it is, like a workout or weight loss thing, I get super motivated after I watch those. Like, I'm motivated to eat better, to work out regularly, to clean my house, to do everything when I watch those. So sometimes when I'm a little schlumpy, I decide to just go ahead and watch those because I know they're going to motivate me to get off of my butt. Question 4, a quick pro quo. A quote that has helped you realize something about yourself or really struck a chord with you. So I actually came up with 2 quotes, which I liked. The first one is from To Kill a Mockingbird, which is one of my all-time favorite books. It was times like these when I thought my father, who hated guns and had never been to any wars, was the bravest man who ever lived. Such a good quote. I also have a quote from Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. It is, tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it. Yet. I remember that from the book. I remember that from the mini-series. And I do think it is a quote that definitely meant something to me. Question 5, reach for the sky. A character that grows. For this one, I am going to have to go with Elsa in A Girl of Fire and Thorns. And this is a trilogy that I read a few years ago, so I don't feel like I talk about it a lot. But our main character is Elsa, and she does grow in this quite a bit. Basically, she's the younger of 2 sisters in a kingdom, and she is married off basically as an alliance between her kingdom and another kingdom. Now, outside of the fact that she's a princess, she is also considered blessed by God because she has a godstone in her navel. So all that means is basically she's going to do some giant and noble act during her life. And usually for a godstone person, it's like right before they die. This is a great series with a character that does grow and does go on a journey. It is 3 books and I think 3 novellas. Question 6, Busy Bee, a character that is always busy and working on something or doing something. And for this one, I'm going to go with Vianne in The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Vianne is the older of the 2 sisters in this book, and basically we have 2 sisters who are in German-occupied France with 2 very different views on the war. One sister, Vianne, the older sister, kind of thinks if she just keeps her head down and does what they tell her to do, everything's going to be okay. Whereas the younger sister wants to fight back and be part of the French resistance. Vianne is just the queen of being a busy and trying to distract herself being that busy. Of course, if I were in her situation, I'd probably do the same thing. This is a great book. It'll make you cry, but you should still read it. The More You Know. A book that taught you something. I would have to give this one to The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Basically, this book, when I read it, completely opened my eyes to things I didn't even know were there. I didn't know there was such a thing as white privilege. I didn't know that people were treated differently in our country still because of the color of their skin and things along those lines. I thought those were just individual cases, and I did not realize what a huge deal it is, and it brought a lot of things to my attention, a lot, and I'm glad that I know those things, but now we just have to figure out how to change those things. I'm not sure how to do that, honestly, but I did learn a lot from this book. In this book, we are following a girl named Star, and basically, Star kind of lives a double life. She has her life at home in her mostly black neighborhood, and then she has her life at her private school where she is like one of the only black kids in school, and it's kind of her other life. One night, she is coming back from a party with a friend that she kind of grew up with. His name is Khalil, and on their way home, they are pulled over by a police officer, and Khalil is shot by a white officer, and Star is the only witness to this as well. So it is a book about her dealing with that and then dealing with issues that are much bigger than her as well. And I know she learns a lot in this book, and I did too. Question 9. Change is a good thing. Share a link to your first video down below and then your most recent video and then share about it. Well, I would have to say my very first video was my Booktube newbie video, and I had no idea what I was doing. When I did the stacks on stacks and stacks thing, it just came into my brain. I just did it, and I didn't know it was going to be something I was going to do before every video, but then it became something I did before every video. I did know what I wanted for like an opening sequence. I knew I wanted a stack of books from my floor to my ceiling, and I just wanted to be this continual shot going straight up. It took us a few times, and it was mostly my husband's work, but we did get it. In my video, I know I was terribly nervous. I remember editing it, and that was also my introduction to editing. I'd never done anything like that either. So I was kind of learning how to edit. I was learning how to cut clips together. I was learning that I say so much, and then I would just sit there and stare at the camera sometimes like, this is weird. I'm talking to a dot on a camera on an iPad. I don't know what I'm doing, but I figured it out. It just took me a little bit of time. I don't think my first video is terrible, but I think you can definitely tell how nervous I was. If you watched my video from yesterday, I think you'd look at the two and you would be like, actually, she doesn't seem that nervous. And I don't really get nervous in front of the camera at all, which is good, but I don't know how different the two are. You guys watch them and you let me know. Number 10, Defy the Odds, a book that fits or could be classified in more than one genre. And for this, I'm actually going to go with 2 different books, so you can see just how good at this I am. The first one, I'm going to go with the Red Rising series, and this could be classified as fantasy or sci-fi, which are 2 different categories. You could also classify this as adult, and you could classify it as adventure. It's a book of many sides. You could also put Station 11 in many categories as well. You could also call this like kind of a sci-fi. You could call it dystopian, you could call it adult, you could call it contemporary. It has a lot of hats that it wears since it takes place over a period of time from multiple points of views. But I do think I like books that are part of more than one genre. I think it kind of expands your mind, which is a good thing. Number 11, I think I can. 3 books that I want to read this year, or a goal that I would like to accomplish. So my goal I want to accomplish is to learn to be on time. You would think at the age of 36, am I 36 or 37 now? You would think by the time somebody is 36 years old, they would know how to be on time for things, but no. I don't. So I would like to work on trying to be on time for things. I try and then I fail, but I still try. I fail. And 3 books that I would definitely like to get read by the end of the year. First one is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. This is following a mother and daughter that move into a neighborhood, and basically all I know is there's an adopted kid somewhere in there, and the mother and daughter don't quite fit in the neighborhood, so things go awry a little bit, but I've been told it's a great story, so I definitely want to read it this year. I also want to read The Guernsey Literacy and Potato Peel Society. This one is one that a friend of mine recommended me to read, and I don't know really what it's about. I do know there's a movie coming out, and it has Lily James in it, and I love Lily James, so I want to read it before I see the movie. Plus, I think it's kind of a 1940s thing. I don't know, but I'll read it anyway. And I also want to read Eleanor Elephant is Completely Fine. And this is one that I feel like it sounds kind of boring, but I'm sure that it's not. It's about a woman who kind of lives a very boring and predictable life, and then one day she stops to help somebody and pulls in a coworker to help her as well with this guy, and basically it changes her life and how she views things and how she does things, and I think that sounds like a really great book. Question 12, pay it forward. Tag 5 people that you would like to help motivate and have fun. Okay, so I did pick 5 channels that I would love to see do this tag. First one is T-Hags. I think everything they say is funny, so I would love their interpretation on all of this. Game of Tomes, they just make everything fun. Drinking by My Shelf, who is the epitome of fun. Joshana C., who always has wonderful opinions and she sticks to them, and I love that. And Sam's Nonsense, who has a very different flavor of book than I do, which means all the questions will be answered differently, and I absolutely love that too. So that is it. That is the spring tag. If this is something you want to do, by all means do it. Again, the prompts are down below. If you want to do yesterday's video or tomorrow's video, you can do those too. Just let me know, because I definitely want to be watching these. Also, go watch all of my co-hosts who are so incredible. We have Brews and Reviews, Brooke Clark, Christina's Journey, Danny Buxton, and The Story with Serenity Dawn. All linked down below. And feel free to comment with a book of somebody that's on a journey, or maybe a book that taught you something. Or if you really want to go back and watch my first video, you can comment on that and say, boy, you've gotten better, or could you get worse, or whatever. I'd love some feedback there too. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to come see me tomorrow, because I'll be here. Goodbye. Is that a dog?
It's 2 dogs.
Oh, a dog-faced dog. I see how it is. That was like a ninja attack. I did not see that coming. There it is. Unless she kisses with her paws. Do you kiss with your paws, babykins? Do you? Do you? Is that what you do? Is that what you do? Yes. I'm glad that you're tall now.
Me too.
Is it White Dog's turn too?
Debbie, come here. Okay, wait. I got it. I got her now.
Tuck that foot in, kid. You're gonna hurt me.
I got her.
Okay. Come here, little puppy. Your nails are long. You need to go to get your nails done.
Beautiful. Take her to the doggy spot.
You need to go to doggy spot. She's so warm. Has she been outside?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They smell like sunshine. You smell like sunshine. And stop.
Sorry. You know what you should do? You should clip together all the ums from just this video.
Oh,
just
no.
so they can hear.
There are so many, because I do it all the bloody time.
That's all right.
The worst.
Whoa, don't say bloody.
Our sweet British friends will be like, she swears all the time.
Our friends come from across the pond are not crazy about that.
Yeah, I apologized once when I said it. Sorry. My bad.